However, what I wanna continue, we started this morning, and the Lashon Harashir for the last week, and Musar is going to be completely this. We call it Musar as a name of the Shir. We're going to completely B'li Neder, the last week, focus primarily, I shouldn't say that completely, but primarily on Inyane Pesach. Shleishim Yom Koydem HaChag, and I think all of us have to start gearing up. Have to start focusing in a serious way on the Chag of Pesach. I want to talk about Inyane Pesach through the Seder, through analyzing the Seder, thinking about the Seder. This morning we were talking about the structure of a Seder. There's many D'Rabbanans, D'Raisas, Minhagim. I'd like to sort out what's a Minhag, what's a D'Rabbanan, what's a D'Raisa. We were talking about the mitzvah D'Rabbanan of Dalet Kaisis. The Schi of the Rabbanan to have 4 cups of wine. The Dalet Kaisis, I'm not going to go everything we learned this morning. I want to get into a topic. The 4 Kaisis are very much almost set the structure of the night. 4 big mitzvahs of the night, the Rabbanan said to do ala kais. There's something called Kiddush that we do every Shabbos and Yantiv. The Rabbanan said to do it ala kais. Now, the Rabbanan say every Friday night, there's a mitzvah d'oraisa. If you say Good Shabbos, according to many, many poskim, saying Good Shabbos is a kiyum of a d'oraisa. We've discussed in the yeshiva, the Shloah Kadosh, not to say good night on Shabbos. Good night is for sure not to say on Shabbos, but instead, if you say Good Shabbos, you're being mekayim d'oraisa of Zarchas Yom HaShabbos L'Kadshay. Now, to do Kiddush, d'oraisa doesn't need yayin. The Rabbanan said that you should do your mitzvah of Kiddush ala yayin. That's midrabanan. Midaraisa is an inyan of Kiddush. Midrabanan, you're supposed to do Kiddush ala yayin. At the Seder Avila, we have a mitzvah to do Kiddush ala yayin, and we have a mitzvah of kais. Is it the same as every Friday night and every Yontiv? It might be. There's a Taisvis, there's a Reb Chaim. I don't want to go right now into the whole Arichos. Suffice to say that every Friday night, Avi, who makes Kiddush in your home? Dad. Do you have a kais in your hand? No. Leil HaSeder, true. Leil HaSeder, what happens? You all have a kais. Why? Perhaps that's part of Dalet Kaisis. You're supposed to have a kais and drink a kais yourself. In Kiddush, even if you don't drink your yaitza, of course you're supposed to be tam from the kais of Kiddush. You're supposed to taste, but even theoretically you don't taste your yaitza. The Dalet Kaisis, you're supposed to drink Dalet Kaisis. So everybody has a kais in front of them. So the first kais at the Seder is Kiddush. The next kais is with the mitzvah of Haggadah. That's kais number 2, is with the mitzvah of Haggadah. I'd like to speak a few minutes now about the Haggadah. At the end of our mitzvah of Haggadah of kais 2, we make a bracha on the Matzah and we make a bracha on the Maror. We actually end that segment with a bracha on the Matzah, a bracha on the Maror. We actually have Matzah and Maror. It is not a coincidence that the Haggadah so connects to. You could have done the mitzvah of Matzah at a different point in your Seder, but you're actually, Matzah is called Lechem Oini. And the Gemara has 2 pshatim in Lechem Oini, and 1 pshat in the Gemara, it's Lechem She'oinim Olav Dvarim Harbe, that you're supposed to say everything with the Matzah in front of you. So we purposely leave the Matzah open while we do the Haggadah, a kiyum of the pasuk in the Torah that calls Matzah Lechem Oini, which means the Lechem She'oinim Olav Dvarim Harbe, that we say a lot of things, and then at the end of the Haggadah we make a bracha ala chilas matzah. Now, what we're going to do at your Seder, you're going to have matzah alone and make a bracha ala chilas matzah. Then you're going to make a bracha ala chilas maror and have maror alone. And then you're going to make a sandwich of matzah and maror together. Now, the best thing, don't correct your parents. Do not correct your parents because it's not worthy of a macha. But I'm asking you to do the right thing and don't talk. From your bracha on the matzah, till after your sandwich, don't talk. Now, if you're asking, could you please pass me something that's not a hefsek, you could talk, don't talk anything else. Now, people at your Seder might be chattering and schmoozing. Don't make a macha, it's not your job. It's certain things you have to be meicha. This you don't have to be meicha. I'm talking about what's best. What's best is from when you wash for the matzah until you do kairach, not to talk. So that just includes three things. Matzah, Maror, then kairach. If you're feeling bad for yourself that you can't talk for that amount of time, understand there's a chumrah not to talk till after you have the afikoymen at the end of the Suda. You are not allowed to be machmir like that. I don't think you should, because it will be a bittul of Simchas Yantiv. And that chumrah doesn't take precedence over your mitzvah daraisa of Simchas Yantiv. So that far, I'm not saying to be machmir, but why should you be machmir? What's this chumrah, the Ramah? It's brought in the Ramah. What's this chumrah? Well, welcome home, Michal. Welcome home, Lavi. Wow. Amazing. It doesn't feel right. Like, since I pass a guy in yeshiva from a long distance, I'm a lot closer to both.
Wow. Let's go. Go.
So what's this Inyan? Chevra, what's this Inyan? Lavi, what's this Inyan? Not to talk from alachilas matzah till after afikoyim. It's a few minutes. What's the Inyan, Herschel? So the real me'ikr dedin. Welcome. Sheves achin gam yachad. Excellent. The ikr adin. The real halacha. When I say real, midairaisa, according to Hillel, we used to have a sandwich. We had a sandwich of the Korban Pesach with matzah, with maror, al zusammen, all together. The pasuk by Korban Pesach says, al matzahs u'miroirim yoichlu. They should be eaten together with matzah and maror. So, b'zman shebeis mishay kayim, Hillel would eat the matzah, maror, and Korban Pesach. It was a steak sandwich, and he eat it together. So we want really to have matzah and maror together. That's why I'm telling the guys, the Ramah, not to talk. From the bracha on matzah, when you wash for the matzah, till after the afikoyim, till after the kairach, the sandwich, don't talk, because the best way of eating matzah is with the maror. So Fregzela Kasha, so why don't we just eat it, matzah and maror together? What's our deal? Why are we playing games? Why are we eating matzah alone, maror alone, and then going to kairach? If the best way is having the sandwich, the matzah and maror tzazamen together, so go straight to kairach. Elia, what's our deal that we do matzah then maror, and here I have to do a whole shtick? Don't talk, because I want my bracha ala chilas matzah to go and be chal on matzah and maror together. Now, I'd like to share with the chevra, once you start a mitzvah as a mashal, b'dikas chametz, somebody's going to make a bracha on b'dikas chametz. Are you allowed to talk in the middle of your b'dika? Let's say it takes 2.5 hours to check a house for chametz, 3 hours. So are you allowed to talk during those 3 hours? The answer is yes. Once you begin a mitzvah, the bracha was chal, and me'ikr the din, you're allowed to talk. It's taiv not to talk, because you're going to get distracted. Your wife's asking you a question during bedika, it is foolishness not to answer. Because of the chumrah of not talking, better to be machmir v'shalom bayis and talk to your wife. You have to have values. About whatever she wants to talk about. But it's taiv not to talk during the b'dikas chametz, because you could lose focus. So it's taiv not to talk. The rule is, once you began the mitzvah, there's no isser to talk. So why am I saying not to talk? I ate my matzah. Why am I saying not to talk before kairach? I did my mitzvah already. So even if I want to do more of the mitzvah, I'm allowed to talk. Somebody makes a bracha leishe basukah, shouldn't talk till they have a kibbeh v'ayid of food. Once they have a kibbeh v'ayid, they still get more of a mitzvah, yet you're allowed to talk. So why am I saying not to talk till you do kairach? What am I saying? What I'm saying is because the ikr matzahs with maror. It's not stam I was yaitze, the ikr matzahs together with maror. So I want the bracha to be chal on that. I don't want the bracha to be chal on matzah alone. I want it to be chal matzah maror. I'm going to explain it to you. Hashkafically, philosophically, I want to connect to the mitzvah and I want to talk about it in a few minutes. But first I just want you to get the structure of what's happening. So the best is not to talk. Now why don't we just go right to a sandwich like Hill used to do? The answer to that secret, and then we're going to learn more. Please bear with me. Matzah b'zman hazeh is a chiyuv d'oraisa or d'Rabbanan chevra? Is a chiyuv d'oraisa. Maror b'zman hazeh is a chiyuv d'Rabbanan. Why is that? Matzah b'zman hazeh, this Pesach coming up in a couple of weeks, you have a mitzvah saseh d'oraisa to eat matzah. To eat maror, you have a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, not a d'oraisa. Why is that? The pasuk to eat maror is al matzais umroyim yechlu. The only verse in the Torah to eat maror is talking about Karban Pesach. And it says concerning the Karban Pesach, you should eat it with matzah and maror. When we have no Karban Pesach, we have no maror. Bisman hazeh, there's no d'oraisa to eat maror. It's a d'Rabbanan to eat maror. Matzah, besides the pasuk of al matzah umrorim yechlu, is another pasuk be'erev teichlu matzahs. There's a separate pasuk says be'erev on the evening leila seder teichlu matzah should eat matzah. There's a mitzvah d'oraisa to eat matzah. So bisman hazeh matzah's d'oraisa because matzah besides the pasuk that says to have the Karban Pesach with matzah and maror, there's another pasuk that says be'erev teichlu matzahs. So matzah is a chiyuv d'oraisa b'zman hazeh. Maror is not a chiyuv d'Rabbanan b'zman hazeh. Now, if you're about to eat your matzah, are you allowed to chew bubble gum while you're eating your matzah? Chas v'sholom, it's a hefsek. A d'Rabbanan compared to a d'oraisa is like a dvar harishus. So the maror is like bubble gum because you have to do your d'oraisa, Herschel. So I can't have maror while I'm eating the matzah. I can't have maror while I'm eating the matzah. Matzah is d'oraisa. Maror is d'Rabbanan. It's like I'm chewing bubble gum to eat the maror while I'm eating the matzah. So I have no right. Michal, I can't eat the matzah and maror together today because matzah is d'oraisa. Maror is d'Rabbanan. If I do the d'Rabbanan, it's considered a dvar harishus compared to the d'oraisa. So it's like chewing bubble gum. It's a hefsek. So I have the matzah. What?
Does that mean dvar what?
Dvar rishus. Compared, it's all relative. Compared to a d'oraisa, it's considered like I'm just chewing bubble gum. So I have no right to do a d'Rabbanan. Bisman beis hamikdash that the matzah is d'oraisa and maror is d'oraisa. Eat a sandwich. Do both d'oraisa together. Hunky dory. But bisman hazeh the maror is d'Rabbanan, matzah is d'oraisa. So I have to first eat matzah. Now, after I do my matzah, maybe now go right to a sandwich. But now my matzah is bubble gum. Because now I have a chiyuv d'Rabbanan of maror. My matzah, I was yaitz already. I have no chiyuv of matzah. So now the matzah is bubble gum compared to the maror. So I do my d'Rabbanan the maror. Now, and only now, I can have a sandwich. It became dvar rishus because I was yaitz in my d'oraisa already. So I have the d'oraisa, I got my d'oraisa. Got my d'Rabbanan maror. Now I'm shayich, they're on equal levels to do them together, which is the ikra din to do them together. Now, it excites me. I feel emotional about that halacha, that matzah and maror are supposed to be together. I feel emotional about that halacha. It's one of my favorite things the whole Seder night, that the matzah and maror is together. I love that. I love that. That's why I want you to be machmir. There's halacha. Halacha means something. We're loyalists to Hashem. This halacha to me is emotional. This halacha is delightful. I should enjoy the sandwich so much because of this. The matzah and maror zusammen in one sandwich. And I'm not even going to talk when I make al netilas yadayim. I won't talk till the sandwich because my ikar matzah, I want it to be with the maror. Al zusammen, the matzah and maror together. Only together. Last year, one of the chevra spoke before Pesach and said over that the halach is if you swallow maror, you're not yotzeh. I'm going to explain why, Elia, I want to eat the matzah and maror together in a minute. But a guy said over last year, the halach is if you swallow maror, you're not yotzeh. I'll tell you my own story. Like any guy, I love when the maror, there are different types of maror, different people eat. Some people eat lettuce for the maror. Some people have the radish, that horseradish for the maror. Now, good yeshiva guy, you want it hot, and I made my own sedarim. It's very easy to get that meshuggah. You just leave it covered. If you leave it uncovered, it gets easy to eat. When I was a youngster making my first sedarim, I wanted a good macho seder. So I wanted the maror to be unbearably crazy. For the thrill, for the geschmack. Today I don't like that at all. I look for the easiest maror. And for the simple reason, I want to be yotzeh. And to be yotzeh, you're not allowed to swallow maror. You have to eat it. Ala chilas maror, you make a bracha, you're supposed to eat it. If it's like that, you just tend to swallow it. You could be not yotzeh. First of all, you have to have a kazayas. You have to have a nice man. You have to have a kazayas. Achila is ein achila pachas mikazayas. So you have to have a kazayas and you have to eat it. Eat it means to eat it, not swallow it. When it's that hot, I can't have a kazayas and I swallow it. You're probably not yotzeh. It's even debatable that it's not food. I'm not even sure when it's that hot, it's achila. So today, if I don't make my own sedarim, but I make sure that it's open. I make sure it's stored out. Lettuce is great by me too. Have the lettuce, the romaine lettuce, that's maror. Have a kazayas, geschmack. And then really eat a kazayas of the maror. I love the halacha that bala maror la yatsa. Every guy in this yeshiva should know that halacha backwards and forwards, because it obviously means you got to process your pain. If I ever heard a halacha, Elia, that's talking to us, if you swallow maror, you're not yatsa. You got to feel it. You got to process it. You know what bala maror yatsa is? You know bala maror la yatsa is when a guy in yeshiva tells me, Rebbe, I'm past my stuff. He was bala as maror and he's la yatsa. He's not past diddly squat. He hasn't worked through. He hasn't processed anything. Bala maror la yatsa mechol. You hear this halacha? It's like one of the best halachas to say. If you swallow maror, you're not yatsa. We got to process our difficulties. Maror, of course, is the mariris, is the difficulties. And you swallow it, you're not yatsa. Means to say that we got to process the difficult and hardships we got to cry, we got to grieve, we got to feel, we got to think about, we got to process our things. That's what maror means. You swallow maror, you're not yotze. What I love, Maishla, the matzah and maror go together, is I suspect in the whole process, the matzah is the bread of freedom. Even though it's lechem aini, it does speak about avdos, but of course, the matzah is what we ate when we left Mitzrayim. And the matzah represents the moments of getting out of Mitzrayim. And the maror represents that which was in Mitzrayim. The matzah is the free man, the total free man. And the maror is the mariris, the difficulty. And we have it together because we're machshav both. Because we're machshav both. To any Tzamarsha, to any person, any kid at the Seder, the hardest question of the Seder was celebrating get us out, is who put us in. That's the hardest question of the Seder. Is you're celebrating getting out, God put you in. He put you in. So what do you mean you're celebrating getting out? I always say over this Ksav Sefer, it says, Zayveyach Taida, whoever brings a carbon Taida, Yichabdinani, has honored me. It says a double nun. It doesn't say Yichabdani, Yichabdinani. Says the Medrash, you've given me a double honor, a cryptic Medrash Michal. It says if somebody brings a carbon Taida, Taida is thanking Hashem for Yeshua's, Person's healed from sickness, brings a carbon taida. Says the pasuk, if you bring a taida, you've honored me double mo. Yechabde nani, you've honored me. It says a double nun avla, kavod achar kavod. What's the double honor? Says the Ksav Sefer. If you thank Hashem for healing you from sick, means that you appreciate the kasha of being sick. So otherwise, who made you sick to heal you? So the Torah says Hashem, the whole thing. I got somewhere from the whole process. I thank you for the Yeshua, and we're human beings, but the whole process brought me somewhere. It's not just saying I'm so thankful I got out. The whole process brought me somewhere. It might be one of the most important vartim in the yeshiva because this is actually an environment where people process their difficulties, where it's not swept under the rug, it's not ignored. People talk, people cry, people feel, and we're human beings, and I find it fascinating. Is Maror Bizman Hazeh Daraisa? What is that? What is that? When we have Geula, when we have a Carbon Pesach, Maror is Daraisa. Today, Maror is the Rabbanan. To me, there's something so deep. When you have Yeshua's salvation, the Maror could be a Chiyuv Daraisa. You could feel the goodness in the Maror. When you don't have salvation, you're not Mechuyev Daraisa to eat Maror. You can't eat Maror Daraisa. You can have a Rabbanan, a Zecher, a remnant. When things are good, you're in a safe place, you could actually almost appreciate the difficulty and the journey to get to the safe place. So when you have the Geula, when you have Carbon Pesach, then you have a Chiyuv Daraisa for Maror. We have no Carbon Pesach, Maror is the Rabbanan. I think that's a wonderful halacha. But we eat together the Matzah and Maror is a recognition that I'm celebrating the salvation and the difficulty. That the whole journey brought me somewhere. The journey brought me somewhere. There is no teretz without a kasha. We discussed this morning. There is no teretz without a kasha. Till you're bothered, you don't get the terutzim. Michal, like this. The whole way the Seder is structured is a question and answer. Kana ben shoyel. Manish tana alayla, question and answer. The Agada that we're mechuyev to do, the mitzvah, the second case, we do Haggadah, the way it's structured is question and answer. Kana ben shel. The way things go most deeply into you is when you have a kasha. I gave the guys an example, and they're countless. I'm giving it because it just happened to me. All of us are trying to daven for Eretz Yisrael for the Matzah. And it is normal. We're 6 months in. You get a little tired, and you lose focus to the matziv. That is normal. It's like, oh, the war, and we say the kapitel Tillim, it's not geschmack. When people after a long davening say share, and the chazan does, he's like, oh no, and then you get to a real from and he's doing 2 kapitel. You're like, oh. After a Thursday daven, now you're adding 2 kapitel Tillim. How do we daven and mean it and pray and be? So I was very, very tired out. And disconnecting, there's a matzah in Klal Yisrael, I was disconnecting personally. Something happened, a man in the mall got in my face and said, get out of Gaza. And I started thinking a thought that before I met the guys here, I would have ignored and I wouldn't have admitted to the thought to myself. Because I thought the goal is to be robotic. So before I met you, I would have just pushed away the thought, Herschel. I would have denied it. I had an incredibly selfish thought that I actually said, if Hashem made me this way, I'm going to talk to myself. And I saw I was very selfish. I was thinking, Netanyahu, could you knock it off already? You're bothering me. You're making wars in Eretz Yisrael, and some guy in the mall is bothering me. Could you stop already, Netanyahu? Stop. I couldn't believe how selfish Hashem made me. I'm blaming God, even when I say that over. I'm so selfish. I was worried, Lavi, for me. Could you stop? But I can't fake that. That's a thought I had, real. Very, very self-centered. Could you stop? When it's theoretical, should he fight? Shouldn't we have some coffee room argument in BMG? It's okay, I don't care. Yeah, no, maybe. We could, at the dining room we talk. This was personal. You're messing with me. I'm tired already. I don't want to put you. See what you're doing to me? I have to be at the mall and a guy gets in my face. Netanyahu, stop. Poor my son, Maishi, welcome home, Maishi. Maishi's had almost from the most in my life, from the biggest influences in my life, is my son Maish. When I speak about this sugya of learning, that I'm slowly learning to acknowledge feelings and thoughts and not sweep them under the rug. I've been taught a lot. I've learned a lot. A ben who's machkim is av, who makes a father smarter. He's a rebbe of mine in this area, Maish. And Maish, I saw like tremendously selfish thoughts. Can Netanyahu stop already? Can you stop? Like, what's he doing to me? I promise I felt that deeply. Now you could say, Kalish, that's so selfish. That's quite selfish, what I felt. Do you know I was able then, after acknowledging that thought's a real thought. It's a real thought. This is so tiring, this is so crazy. What are you doing to me? Do you know I then thought about it instead, because I'm close to my son Maish, because of guys here, and I started having a conversation with myself, because I needed to have a conversation. Do you know I started thinking, Kalish, what do you want? Okay, so let's stop the war. 1 second, they're Yidden underground by Gaza. They're Yidden by Hamas. So what are you saying, Daniel? So should we just leave them? Just leave them, that's what you're saying? And I promise you, emotionally, I felt all of a sudden, let's go, don't you dare stop the war. And I started davening harder. So the kasha of a selfishness actually allowed me to get things into my bones in a more, before I had the kasha, the selfish thought, I wasn't davening so stark. I'm back in with the Tillim. Since then, I'm back in hard. Let's go. I don't like when people are just mumbling the Tillim. They're people stuck in the ground. They're people buried under the ground, starving, Yidden. Let's daven, let's go. But I only had that emotional feeling because I had a kasha, because I had a selfish thought. If you learn to acknowledge and to feel and to process things, so then you have terutzim. There are no terutzim without kashas. Wow. Without a friction, without a difficulty, you don't get anywhere. Bachar Mabadir, the learning, this is very dry. I learned my Seder. If you don't have a kasha, you never get into a test. You just push it away. I'm just stupid. I'm so bad. Shame. No, you have a kasha. God made it Torah. I want to connect to it. Hey, there's a problem. I'm not. Hey, what do I... The kashas bring terutzim. Kashas bring to terutzim. The way the Seder is structured is question and answer. Now, that's not a side point to the Seder. That's not a side point to the Seder. That's the story of Galus and Geula. Geula's only from processing Galus. Working through, figuring out, responding. It's not a side point to the Seder that happens to be the way to say Shiurim. There's no such. We the Shabbos Kodesh, we had real learning in the Beis Medrash. That was real learning because we had a kasha that people were bothered by. And guys handled and said terutzim. Guys were bothered by a kasha. There was a word in the Gemara that was. Guys said some incredible terutzim afterwards, subsequently. Really crazy stuff. That's how learning works. That's when a teretz becomes real, when a kasha was real. When a kasha troubled us, when a kasha bothered and moved us, then the teretz becomes real. That's the structure of the Seder, because it's the story of the night. That the galus and the difficulty and working through produces the geula. If you think about our very story, when we cried in galus, Vaye Anchu, when we processed and we cried, we were saved and we had the geula. That's the very story of the geula. That's the very story that happens of the geula. So this way it's structured, the Seder, is why I like the Matzah and Maror together, that it's a sandwich. that ultimately the matzah, which represents my freedom, and the maror that caused the problem, they're eaten as one because they're one sugya. The maror leads to the matzah, and I eat them as one. The maror and processing my maror leads to the matzah, leads to the cheres. And the inyan is to eat them together. Of course, it's galus. And in galus, we can't really have them together. In galus, the maror remains somewhat elusive. It's only d'Rabbanan. The matzah is d'Oraisa. So because of that, we have matzah, we celebrate. The cheres we do have, the good we do have. The maror, we have a chiyuv d'Rabbanan, and we're trying to process it. But after we do matzah, then we do maror, we have it together. I'll mention a beautiful kasha. We're learning, I like the fact that we're learning machshava and halacha together, because it's one Torah. So I'll mention a beautiful kasha of the Kreisi Vaplesi, a stunning kasha. If somebody eats matzah and forgets to do a seba, there's a mitzvah, perhaps midrabanan, machlokes rishonim, but pashtus a mitzvah d'Rabbanan to do a seba, by the matzah and the dalet kaisis to do it leaning. If somebody forgets to do matzah b'seba, what must they do? Welcome home, Maishla. They must have.
Welcome home,
Maish is here, fresh chassan.
Whoa! So if you forget to leave by the matzah, you have to welcome home, Maish. I hear. Welcome, Maish.
The rule is if somebody forgets matzah b'seba, they get to lean, they have to have another kazayas of matzah b'seba. And the Ramah says this halacha, if you forget matzah b'seba. Now that second kazayas is a chiyuv d'Rabbanan pashtus. Haseba is a chiyuv d'Rabbanan. Matzah is a mitzvah d'Oraisa, seba is d'Rabbanan. Here's a guy who was supposed to do matzah b'seba and he forgot. So what does he have to do, Herschel? He has to do matzah again. Really, we want to do matzah and maror tzazamen. Why can't we do matzah and maror together, Herschel? Because matzah is d'Oraisa, maror is d'Rabbanan.
Bubblegum.
If you forget a seba, now your matzah is d'Rabbanan, so do right with maror. Why does the Ramah say, if you forget matzah b'seba, you should do matzah again, then do maror? Frekta b'yonis na'ayibshitz, frekta kreisi v'plesi. If you forget matzah b'seba, go right to kairach. Kalish, you want the sandwich together. Now your matzah and maror is both d'Rabbanan. Because now you did your chiyuv d'Oraisa of matzah, you just forgot heseba. Heseba is a din d'Rabbanan. So mid d'Rabbanan do matzah again, so do matzah and maror tzazamen. Now your matzah and maror are both equal, they're both d'Rabbanan. Yisrael, you hear the crazy places kasha one more time. Why don't we have matzah and maror together today? Because matzah is a chiyuv d'Oraisa, b'zman hazeh, maror is d'Rabbanan. Maror is only d'Oraisa when you have Korban Pesach. The only source in our Torah to eat maror is the pasuk al matzah sumraim yechlu that says by Korban Pesach. Matzah, besides the pasuk al matzah sumraim yechlu, which we don't have Korban Pesach today, is a separate pasuk be'erev teichlu matzahs. So matzah is d'Oraisa b'zman hazeh, maror is d'Rabbanan. Therefore, you cannot eat them together. When you do a d'Rabbanan with the d'Oraisa, it's like a dvar rishus. It's like chewing bubble gum with the matzah. It's a hefsek. So we do our d'Oraisa matzah. Then we do maror alone. Then we have a sandwich together. Frek the crate. Yes, Martha? What? If you do them together, it's a whole other shmooze. If you do them together, that's a very good shaila. If you would do it together, we would do it b'seba. That's a very, very good shaila. What'd you say, Hudi?
Maybe that the mahal should actually be do matzah without leaning, they have to go straight having it together.
Great question. Great question. Hudi says, I want to even ask deeper than the crazy vaplesi. I have a trick. Do matzah b'li haseba to do your d'Oraisa. The Rabbanan said to do a seba, do then a matzah and maror together. Do it on purpose. Fair question. The answer to him will answer this also, but it's a good question. Yet one more time, Avi, I want you to have Shloima, I want you to have the Biblenis and Aibshitz's Kasha.
I want to get back to
Kalish likes doing what? Why do we like to matzah mar zusammen? Why do we do it together? Because the solution and the problem are one and the same. Maror is the problem, is the maror, is the difficulty. Matzah is the solution. When we got out, we ate matzah, and we eat it together because the problem led to the solution.
But
why can't we do it? So Bisman Beis Hamikdash, that's what we're going to do, Shloimeh. So why can't we do matzah mar together today? Because Bisman Hazeh matzah is daraisa and maror is drabanan. The only source to maror in the whole Torah is a pasuk by Karban Pesach that says eat it with matzah and maror. There is no other source to eat maror in the Torah. Okay. So today we have no Karban Pesach, we have no maror midaraisa. It's only drabanan. Matzah, besides the pasuk by Karban Pesach, which says to eat with matzah and maror, is another pasuk verse in the Torah where it says be'erev teichlu matzahs, eat matzahs on the night of Pesach. So matzah bisman hazeh elya is daraisa. Maror bisman hazeh is drabanan. You can't do a daraisa with the drabanan. That's like chewing bubble gum. The drabanan compared to daraisa is called the dvar harishus. You can't do a dvar rishus with the daraisa. It's a hefsek. So therefore, I have to do matzah alone, shleima. Now, once I do matzah alone, now my maror is drabanan, and my matzah is not a chiv at all. So now the matzah will be bubblegum to the maror. So I do the maror. Nach them do matzah and maror together. So that's what we do. We do matzah, then maror, then the sandwich. Klar Yisrael. Frek Reb Yonasan and Eibshitz. If you forgot to do a seba by matzah, the Ramah brings it's a rush that you repeat the matzah behaseba. There's a chiyuv d'Rabbanan to do a seba, to eat your matzah behaseba, leaning to your left. If you forget to do a seba, so you got to eat the matzah again.
wait a minute, d'Rabbanan.
Frekta b'yonis and Eibshitz. If I forget matzah behaseba, so midaraisa I was yaitza matzah. The Rabbanan, I wasn't, because they said to do a seba. So now go right to Kairach. Now your matzah and maror are both the Rabbanan.
A seba's d'Rabbanan?
You've leveled. It was assuming a seba is the Rabbanan.
I know.
What?
I agree, you are.
You say it was the only thing I was missing, and that is the Rabbanan?
A seba is a chiv the Rabbanan. Mid Rabbanan, you're not yaitza. So if I forget matzah be'aseba, my matzah and maror should be on equal terms. The pashtus and halacha is that a seba is considered rabbanan. And Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz, yes. Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz is going with that pashtus. There's no pasuk in the Torah to do a seba. The Rambam, yeah. That's a yeah. That's okay. That's a that. This Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz's kasha. Hershel, you hear the kasha? Avi, the kasha is clear.
Should I behave?
No.
Okay, so the Rambam.
Okay, I understand. We're assuming right now. We're assuming like the Yonasan Eibshitz. That's
I
what we're
agree
doing.
with you. See that?
What, Morty?
He said I should have behaved.
Matzah again is just for that.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah. So now, if I forgot matzah to do a seba, the Rabbanan are mechayiv me to eat matzah again. So now I should go right to Kairach. My matzah became the Rabbanan and my mar is the Rabbanan. Go right to the sandwich. That's if Yonasan. You like the kasha, Elia? Start. No?
Me too.
What do you say, Elia?
Yeah, the matzah turns into rabbanan because of the seba.
Because since I missed Haseba, the Rabbanan tell me to do matzah again. Midarais, I don't have to do matzah again. Since I missed Haseba, the Rabbanan tell me to do matzah again.
We'll keep going.
What Yehuda Schwimmer is saying,
Go!
and the Pri Megadim, one of the great Achronim, says like Chaikel. And what Chaikel's saying is, since the Rabbanan told you to do the Daraisa again, so that's called Daraisa. The Pri Megadim says, if the Rabbanan tell you how to do a Daraisa, and you don't listen to the Rabbanan, you're not Yaitzim a Daraisa. So what Chaikel's saying, if the Rabbanan told you to do your Daraisa Veseba, Daraisa of Matzah Be'aseba, you don't do a Seba, so you still have your Daraisa to do. Because the Rabbanah told you how to do the Daraisa. The Pri Megadim says this, not to this question. according to Yehuda, says the kasha is not a kasha. Maror is solely a derabanan today. Rabbanan said eat maror. There's no deraisa. Matzah, when I don't do a sebas, the Rabbanan said you didn't do your deraisa yet, because they said to do the deraisa on that oifen. The Pri Megadim says if the Rabbanan tell you how to do a deraisa, and you don't listen to the Rabbanan, you're not yotzim a deraisa. They have a right to tell you how to do your deraisa. So if they told you to do your deraisa be'aseba and you missed taseba, you still have to go back to your deraisa matzah. Yeah, they're allowed to say how to do the deraisa. So it comes out as don't say matzah and maror. Maror, the Rabbanan told you a new maror, a new chiyuv. Solely, it's a pure Rabbanan. Matzah, the Rabbanan said to do your deraisa v'achilas matzah be'aseba. If you miss the seba, you still have your chiyuv deraisa. The Pri Megadim says like Chaykel, very intelligent Chaykel. So according to the Pri Megadim, we have a good answer. Rabbi Yonis Naibsh says kasha.
What's another example where you have to do the deraisa?
Where Abana tell you how to do the deraisa kiddush. Midaraisa, you just have to say you don't need kais yayin. Midarabana, you need a kais yayin. According to the Pri Megadim, if you wouldn't do a kais yayin, you're not yotzim midaraisa. Because the Rabbanan tell you how to do a deraisa. You have to listen to how they tell you. If you don't do it, you're not yotzim a deraisa. There are other examples of this.
Like what?
Probably that Taisvis with Rosh Hashanah Sukkah. You might by Sukkah, right? Be another example. Good Rebbe. It's making good trouble. I'm proud of you. What?
No, it's not!
If what?
Because I'm going to tell you how to do this all the time. That's how we live.
Did you ever get to go back and
Well, according to him, Midaraisa was unfulfilled because the Rabbanan said to do that Baseba. That's what Chaykel's saying. Very stark. You like what Chaykel's saying? Stark already. Yeah. I don't want to just talk in theory, Chevra. The practical, we're talking practically. Some the halach is good to know. I asked the Chevra if you could be machmir, Chevra. When you make that bracha, washing for matzah, don't talk. Ala chilas matzah, do your mitzvah of matzah, do your mitzvah of maror, then do kairach, then talk to your heart's desire. But don't talk till after kairach. It's a little hard in a family. A lot's going on. And people are schmoozing galore, and there's matzah maror being passed around. I like this. It's a ramah. I'm sharing. Don't make a macha to your family. They'll be schmoozing lahalacha. One is allowed. It's a good zach. I want the bracha ala chilas matzah. I want. The ramah says the bracha should go on your kairach, on your ikar mitzvah, on the sandwich. So it's a good zach not to talk, but don't make a macha on anybody else. If you have to talk, nagea the inyan. Somebody could pass the charaises for the kairach, or you have to talk for something. So for the maror, so you could talk for the inyan, but not to talk about other things. To not be mafsik. You're trying to get your bracha ala chilas matzah on that sandwich, on that kairach. After kairach, talk away. The suda starts. After kairach, that begins the suda. So certainly one can talk then. But that was the eitzah for this. Where's Shloima? Shloima here? Yeah. You have a guitar here, Shloima? My shlang's here. Let's do something. You want me to take this?
Where's my schlein? My schlein.
Yeah. Matzah first,
then Maror. I would think Maror, then Matzah.
No? Have to absorb the goodness.
No, but then you absorb the goodness, not the Maror?
I'm not sure. It's interesting. Interesting thought. Hudi said something that he said Bisman Azeh that we don't just have a sandwich, we have matzah, then maror. Everything's very exact. Nothing's, and he said often you have to first absorb the goodness. Before you could ever tell somebody the maror is okay, he has to absorb goodness first, and I think he's completely right. Completely right. I know a guy. I'm not trying to learn from the world of therapy. Everything's in the Torah. We don't need one word from the Goyim. It's all in the Torah. I promise, all the Torah. I know a guy who works with people and they visit dark places. He says he first gets a guy, tell me your safe place. And the guy thinks about a very safe, comforting, comfortable matzav. From his safe place, he can visit difficult place. It's pashut like that. A guy first, you can't tell anybody to visit a dark place till they have a very good safe place. So says Hudi, first matzah. First, I'm in my good place. First, I have to feel and experience the kindness of Hashem. From that place, I can visit the Maror, and from that place, I can have a sandwich, understanding my whole journey. That's what Hudi intelligently says. Very stark.
You can play whatever you want.
Where's Mo? Where's Moish? Ah.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know.
Are you into You Are Not Alone? You know the newest, the second to newest Zush. You like that one? So let's do that for Moish.
I don't know how to play it.
Welcome home, Moish.
Michael said I should do like a funny song for April Fools.
But yeah.
By the darkness, I know I can fall on you. I utter this with fire on my lips and hope that the words sing true. In a moment, surrounded by the darkness, I know I can fall on you. I utter this with fire on my lips and hope that the words sing true. Ribono shel olam, imanika. הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, ריבונו של עולם, אם אני כאן, הכל כאן, הנני, 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 אילך, ייחוד I can't do this
That moon, baby. I love that moon. Rob, you ever saw some shiny moon, Rob?
he knows to ask me. I can
Oh, I have to answer your.
You play Shari Shemai, whatever they say. Can we sing Chevra? We've been singing this a lot lately, but now we're talking being mispala. Let's do Shari Shemai. Let's do Zechoy lach shom shom v'v'v'y chen shoy chen me'oleh Ki ador achzeli chos Ay 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 Bal rachamim She'orech ohen Zechoy lach shom shom v'v'v'y chen shoy chen me'oleh Ki ador achzeli Ay 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 Bal rachamim Sharay Shamayim b'zah V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha Sharay Shamayim b'zah Sharay Shamayim b'zah V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha Sharay Shamayim b'zah She'orech ohen oifim kaniyim medalim Zechoy lach shom shom v'v'v'y chen shoy chen me'oleh Ki ador achzeli chos Ay 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 Bal rachamim She'orech ohen oifim kaniyim medalim Zechoy lach shom shom shoy chen me'oleh Ki ador achzeli chos Ay 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 Bal rachamim Sharay Shamayim b'zah V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha Sharay Shamayim b'zah Sharay Shamayim b'zah V'yitzarecha Adon lanu semcha I like Chazer. Here Michal is back. Both Michals are back. Lavi, Maish Lang. We try to like Chazer over this man. Michal, I need to play some, both Michals. I need to play a song. I need to ask Yehuda to come forward. There's a song, Yehuda Krupke, if you could play, there's a song that became like a rallying cry in the yeshiva. One of the holy Yidden who was nifter and killed for being a Yid on Simchas Torah a week before he was nifter, he sang in his car the song Alekai Neshamash Nesata B'Torah. And it became like a rallying cry song in the yeshiva to the purity of every single Yid. This Yid sang it and was an experience of it. Shloim, if you'll sing with Yehuda, we'll all join in. We all should join in. Come, Yehuda. You like this song, Mo? You saw the video. Really? You got it, if you can. We showed it to the whole yeshiva, big screen. I have to show you. Seen the video? You have to see this guy sing this. Where's Nachum? Could somebody ask Nachum to post it back on the chat? The link of that original guy singing. You saw that video. You saw the video, right? Let's go, Herschel.
neshama b'kirbi modeh ani levanecha kol zman shaneshama b'kirbi modeh ani levanecha Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Hashem Elokai Elokei Avosai Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot Riboy Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot
Play any song you're feeling now, Yehuda. We'll all sing with you. It's very appropriate. Yehuda picked those words. Leiv tar broli elikim. It's mamish, the song of this week. This past Shabbos was Parshas Para, and Para is besides being a mitzvah to read certain kriya, it's a prayer to Hashem. And it's a prayer for Hashem, for Kedusha and Tara. We're thinking about the formation of our people, and we want to get in touch with our purity. Lekai neshamash nesata b'tayrai was the first song. We want to get in touch with that Tara. And we read Parshas Para. It's a prayer to Hashem for Tara, for the Kedusha and Tara, for the purity of Klal Yisrael, to dig into our purity. The words Leiv tar brali elikim was a prayer of David HaMelech after he had sinned with Bathsheba. And the Yisayid of sin, as he says, sin, the Yisayid of sin is a person senses, feels detached from who they are. From sin clouds a person and makes them lose touch of who they are and what they are. Rabbi Shapiro spoke on Shabbos and said the main challenge of our day is shame. I can't agree with him more. We have a tremendous sense as an exposed generation that we're puzzled. We've seen, we've heard, we've done, and a lot of shame, and it's not true. There's a line of the Sfas Emes. This is not just one line. He speaks about this many times. He says that at war, as one example, he says this vart. I'm struggling to learn Sfas Emes for the last few years, and I struggle to understand his pieces, but this is like a theme that I always bump into over and over in Sfas Emes. And he speaks about somebody has to leave war, a soldier. It doesn't say who has Averis has to leave war. If somebody's afraid of Averis Shebiyada, he has to leave the war. The Lashon is somebody who's scared of the Averis that they have. Doesn't say if you have Averis, you have to leave the war. If you're afraid, if their Averis are causing you to not understand your identity, you have to leave the war. If because of the difficulties you're forgetting who you are, you have to leave the war. And sin makes cloudiness, people think detached from their Kedusha and their Tara. David HaMelech, Daven Leiv tar brali elikim. Create for me a Leiv tar. Let me get back in touch with that place of purity. It's like literally the prayer of our day. Leiv tar brali elikim v'ruach nachain, and a correct spirit chadesh b'kirbi, reinvigorate in me. This fire, this passion, this awareness of who I am, let me have it back. So it's actually the song of this week, of Parshas Para, when all of Klal Yisrael's davening for Kedusha v'Tara, you picked it. Let's do the Leiv tar that everybody knows.
Hey, I'll give you a key.
He's got it. Oh, that one we could do?
Oh, sorry.
That one's good too also. That one's good. The one we used to sing in Shiva. But doesn't Kalbach have a Leiv tar?
He had a Leiv tar.
That the one you just did was Kalbach's Leiv tar? You like this one I just said? So let's all sing this one. Let's go. Biralei Elohim, I biruach nachayin chadesh v'kirbi, Leiv tar, Biralei Elohim, I biruach nachayin chadesh v'kirbi, Nachamol, Leiv tar, Biralei Elohim, I biruach nachayin chadesh v'kirbi, Leiv tar, Biralei Elohim, nachayin chadesh v'kirbi, Leiv tar, Biralei Elohim, v'ruach nachayin chadesh
It's not even my song. That's what he was doing before. Oh, it's like every day.
Shlomo, one more. Which one do you want?
Then he was looking for the
That one, you got it right. That was perfect. That also works. Yeah. Let's go. So keep going. Let it go.
It was his, but he did it. I didn't tell him.
This for you, Rebbe.
Al tashlicheni Imil panecha Ay minu kashecha Al tikach mimeni.
I wanted to end. Rabbi said before second Seder. After we end, there'll be second Seder. There'll be a minyan for Mincha at 6:30 in the Beis Medrash. For who haven't davened yet. Before I want to close. Lavi, the last thing I want to close with something about Hallel. Very briefly, 5 minutes. I feel, Lavi, that Hallel, a few things have been like marked this year. Shabbos has been like very, very highlighted this year. I feel like Hallel has been very marked by Hashem. We were in the middle of saying Hallel when the situation happened. What happened, we literally, Klal Yisrael was in the middle of Hallel and everything burst out. So I feel like we've been pointed to Hallel. In the yeshiva, Shlomo said a vart. Yehuda made a song on Shlomo's vart on Hallel. So Hallel's been, in general, Tehillim, all of Klal Yisrael is connecting to Tehillim in incredible ways. Shlomo Edelstein and I were talking how much he was describing his own connection to Tehillim in his family situation. All of Klal Yisrael is connected to Tehillim. Hallel is part of Tehillim. So I wanted to close for 5 minutes, Lavi, with one quick word on Hallel. In Yeshiva, we started. Shmuel Salzberg gets the credit. Hudi pushed it. Avi pushed it. We started a whole chabura that's learning Hilchos Lashon Hara. We have a shir every single day, Bein Astarim, and we've really started to learn Hilchos Lashon Hara in the yeshiva. Reb Fisher, who gets the credit in Eretz Yisrael, and his yeshiva, Reb Fisher's, has made a big push on Hilchos Lashon Hara. And in Yeshiva, Shmuel Salzberg started it here. Reuven Yonah gets tremendous credit, started a chabur at night, learning Shmiras Halashon. So it's something that's become very big in Yeshiva. So we didn't have Lashon Hara Shir today. The rest of this man, we're focusing in on Pesach. But I want to say a quick word, Hallel Lashon Hara. We're going to do it in Yanei Pesach. But I want to say something on Hallel Maish related to Lashon Hara. What'd you say?
No, I'm just, you're giving me Nisyonis and Lashon right now.
Not only we'll tie it in Hallel, Lavi Michal, in Hallel, we say, on the Leila Seder, we're going to say Hallel. The fourth kais is going to be the kais on Hallel. We have a mitzvah. It's the only time all year that we say Hallel at night, representing the clarity that is Pesach. There is no night. We say Hallel Mamish Balayla. It says about Pesach, a pasuk says Laila Kalot Yom Ya'iru. It's a day that the night becomes light like day. So in Hallel we say B'tzeis Yisrael Mitzrayim. The Jewish people left Egypt. Beis Yaakov, the Jewish nation, may Am Layez. Now, Am Layez could simply be translated as a foreign nation, but the word Laz. Is any of the yeshivas learning Gittin this year?
French.
Nobody is? Gittin, what does the word Laz mean? Targum, Laz is French. But what does Laz mean?
Lashon Amzar.
Lashon Amzar means a foreign nation. But what else? We might see Laz. It means to say Lashon Hara on somebody. We might see Laz. Laz is when you cast aspersions on somebody. You say bad stuff. So says the Nitziv's nephew, the Baruch Sha'amar, Beis Yaakov Me'am Layez. We left the nation of Lashon Haraniks. And what does that mean? They were Am Layez. They were a nation of Lazniks. They spoke Lashon Hara on us. Now, very, very simple and shallow understanding, though true, is before you ever do a genocide, before Parai can ever kill us, you first have to make fun of us. you do a smear campaign, people are not going to agree to kill a nation. You first have to put them down. So Mitzrayim did, and always before a campaign of killing is first a smear campaign. Forever knows about the Holocaust. Of course, the Germans, of course, Yamach Shemam, they're the ones who carried out a tremendous murder of our people. But the church gets tremendous, tremendous blame because for hundreds of years there was a smear campaign against the Jewish people. And before it's carried out a genocide, you first have to knock people. So Mitzrayim, before they knocked us, there was a campaign of smearing us. And of course, Paro, if you read Psukim in the Torah, Paro said about a people who are very big loyalists. We're loyal people, having mispalel b'shloim shel malchus. We've always been loyal to the nations we're in. But Paro said about us that we're disloyal. He said, lest the nations attack us and they'll join in with that nation. Paro gave a smear campaign against the Jewish people. So the simple pshat is Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim and Beis Yaakov left the nation of Lashon Haraniks. But what's much deeper true is that the Golus itself was Lashon Hara. The Chavetz Chaim wanted a Shmiras HaLashon campaign because Lashon Hara is the ikar thing of Golus. Moshe Rabbeinu, when two Yidden spoke Lashon Hara Dasim Aviram, said, "Achei noida davar." Now I know why we're in Golus. Lashon Hara and Golus are very associated because Golus is when the Yid is pressed down and is hidden. There's Hester Panim, and the Yid looks like not a prestigious. You can't tell this is the nation of Hashem. That is Golus. Lashon Hara is the mocking, the putting down, the dishonoring of a Yid. To leave Golus is to leave a world of Lashon Hara. To leave a world where a Yid's honor is pushed down. So we speak about Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim. Yaakov represents the Yid in his simple form. The Yid who's the most vulnerable to Lashon Hara. Yisrael is the Yid in his pristine form. Yaakov is the Yid in his regular form, and Beis Yaakov was put in a matzav of Lashon Hara, feeling nothing special, not recognizing with the Am Hashem, not in touch with their Kedusha and Tara. That is the spitz of Golus. Beis Yaakov was an Am Loyes, was surrounded by a people who was saying Lashon Hara on them, and we burst out of that. That's the Geula. Anybody who cares about Geula, stop speaking Lashon Hara, stop knocking a Yid. That's a spitz of Geula. Rav Fisher's yeshiva is a place of Geula. People growing, discovering, uncovering. Durham is a place of Geula. It's a place that's not just saying Mashiach's coming, it's a tzipisa liyeshua. It's a hoping, it's a kilishuascha kivinu kol hayom. A kivui for salvation. Stop saying Lashon Hara. Stop putting down another Yid. Say good on Yidden. We ended Megillas Esther. With words, and remember, you're supposed to connect the Geula of Purim to the Geula of Nisan, Saimich Geula. And we ended that Mordechai HaTzadik was Dairish Taiv La'amai. He sought good for Klal Yisrael, the opposite of Lashon Hara. The opposite of seeing bad, of saying bad. He sought good for his people. Dairish Taiv La'amar. V'doiver Shalom L'chol Zarei. He spoke Shalom, peaceful things for all of Klal Yisrael. So I want to say in our Lashon Hara, working on Lashon Hara, that's something that we're working on Geula. I'm not putting down Yid. The Chavetz Chaim, who thought a lot and spoke a lot, how we're the ikvus of the Mashiach, we're the footsteps of Mashiach. The Chavetz Chaim had a suitcase waiting with clothing, with things, items waiting to greet Mashiach. The Chavetz Chaim sent around a survey to many, many Rabbanim, asking how many Kaihanim you have in your tzibur, how many Kaihanim are learned. He was trying to mobilize when the Beis HaMikdash comes that we all should know the halachas. He thought about it a lot. And he said, let's stop speaking bad on Yidden. Let's speak good and see good in Yidden. So that's the call. Klal Yisrael, in Hallel we say, we left Am Loyes, a nation of Lasniks. I think in the contrast, we have witnessed in our day a Yid in a very bad state being held by a Goy. We have 100 Yidden right now that are sitting there, beautiful Yidden held in a bad state. And of course we want them back in our hands, so Yidden have to be safe in our hands. By us a Yid safe, by us a Yid celebrated. One of the great pictures, Lavi, Hashem drew. Did you have this in Eretz Yisrael? Ariel and Lavi together, beautiful, beautiful. Ariel, did you remember when it first happened? People were very worried about us seeing bad pictures with our eyes, seeing pictures, very, very gruesome pictures. L'maisa Hashem drew for us all. All of us know that there are 100 Yidden right now in very, very vulnerable positions. And one of the great pictures in our mind is the Yid coming back to Eretz Yisrael, and the whole city comes out and cheering and screaming. In our minds, we have to make sure that Yidden are safe by us. Galus is a Yid as lies. People are saying bad on a Yid. And Geula is the clear goodness of a Yid coming out, the clear goodness. So I say to us all, we should see in our days the goodness of Yidden. Haramas Karen Yisrael, the restoration of the pride of Klal Yisrael. Yidden in good hands, safe by us. So let's all of us be mechazik to see good in Yidden, to say good. In order to do that, we have to say and see good in ourselves. Then we should say and see good about other Yid, and Yidden should be safe. In our hands, a Yid is celebrated, a Yid is appreciated, a Yid is noticed. We left Am Loyes, a nation of Lasniks, who said bad on Yidden, who looked bad at Yidden. So we should be zeichet to such a Matzah of a Yitziyah from Am Loyes to a Matzah where Yidden are respected and celebrated. Thank you, Rabbi Say. Second Seder now, 6:30 minutes.